We're going to review the different centers of triangles. All right, in this first triangle, we are told that G is the circumcenter. So we're going to use that information to find the missing parts. So remember that if G is the circumcenter, then we are dealing with perpendicular bisectors. So each place where the line segment crosses the opposite side, it's going to bisect that side and it's going to create a right angle. So if we're looking at AD, we're going to look first of all at AC. AC is 30, so AD would be half of 30, which is going to be 15. If we're going to find FC, now we're going to have to use the information that this is going to be a right triangle. So FC is a right triangle. We have a right angle in there. We also know that in a triangle that has a circumcenter, the distance from the angle to the circumcenter is going to be the same for all three angles. So that means GC is going to be 22. With those two numbers, we are then going to be able to find FC. So we are going to do 9 squared plus b squared is going to equal 22 squared. 81 plus b squared is going to equal 484. 0 pair out the 81. B squared is going to equal 403. Square root b squared, and we get b is equal to 20. So that means that FC is going to be 20. If we look for EB, EB here will be equal to AE because this is a perpendicular bisector. So that's going to be 18. We're looking for AG. AG is going to be the same length as BG and CG because this is a circumcenter. So the angles, the lines from the angles are going to be the same. So that's going to be 22. And then again, in order to find EG, we're going to need to use this right triangle. So we know that EB is 18. We know two sides of the right triangle. We know the hypotenuse, and one side we don't know the shortest side. So we're going to find a squared plus 18 squared is equal to 22 squared. A squared plus 324 is equal to 484. 0 pair out the 324. So a squared is going to be 160 square root, and a is going to equal 12.6. So that means our shortest side of that triangle is going to be 12.6. Now we're dealing with an end center. So remember that with an end center, it is the point where the angle bisectors cross. And it's also the point that is equal distance from the sides. So these three are going to be equal distance from C. They are also going to create right angles. All right, so if we have angle bisectors and we are looking for angle CML. So that's going to make those two angles the same. So that's going to be 20 degrees. And then we are looking for MNP. So we're looking for this big angle. Well, if this is 30 degrees, then this is 30 degrees, which makes the whole angle 60 degrees. We also can find angle PMN over here by doubling 20, and that's going to give us 40 degrees. Now we're looking for NPC. So we're looking for this small angle here, which means we're going to need to find the large angle first. So if this is 40 degrees and this is 60 degrees, then I'm going to take 180 minus 100 is equal to 80, divide it by 2, because this is the angle bisector, which would make this 40 degrees. Remember, for JC is going to be equal distance from the sides because it's an end center, so that's going to make that 4. And then MC, we're going to need to use our right triangle. So if we're going to find MC, we're going to use the 11 that they gave us and the 4 that they gave us. So the 11 and the 4, and we're going to use the fact that it's a right triangle. So MC, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 4 squared plus 11 squared equals C squared. 16 plus 121 is equal to C squared. C squared is equal to 137. Square root both sides, and C is going to equal 11.7. All right, now we have a centroid. So the first thing that we're going to look for is GF. So GF is going to be this small section here. Well, if the large section is 26, then we're going to cut that in half, so the small section is going to be 13. AF. So AF would be 26 plus 13, which is going to be 39. 26 plus 13, and this was 26 divided by 2. If we're looking for FC, FC is going to be 22, because remember that the median bisects the opposite side. So that's going to be 22, and that we found that by doing 44 divided by 2. GB, we're given the small side, so we need to just simply double that, and that will give us GB, which is going to be 24. And then DB would be adding them together, which would be 36. All right, we have another circumcenter, which means we have right angles created, and we also have bisected sides. So if we're going to find x, we are going to set 8x. Actually, let's start with the larger one, because we're going to need the larger one on the left anyway. So let's start with 13x minus 31 is equal to 8x minus 11. 0 pair out the 8x. That's going to give us 5x minus 31 is equal to negative 11. 0 pair the 31. We're going to have 5x is equal to 20. Divide by 5, divide by 5, x is going to be 4. If x is 4, then we are going to be able to find what BE is. So in order to find BE, we're going to do BE is equal to 8 times 4 minus 11, which is going to be 21. And then BC is going to be 2 times 21, which is going to give us 42. So BC is 42. Now we have an in-center again, which means that our three sides the in-center is equal distance from the three sides. So those three sides are going to be equal. So in order to find x, we're going to go ahead and set 16x minus 15 equal to 9x minus 1. 0 pair out the 9x. So we have 7x minus 15 is equal to negative 1. 0 pair out the 15. We have 7x is equal to 14. Divide by 7, divide by 7, x is equal to 2. If x is equal to 2, then I know that I can find mn. So mn would equal 9 times 2 minus 1, which is going to give me 17, and kn is going to be the same exact length. And now we have reviewed the different triangle centers.